competitive examination course, fluid mechanics online course for the preparation of online for the preparation of competitive examination. This will helpful. So this is a sequence of lectures, lecture 2. In this we are discussing properties of fluid. So in previous session we discussed some of the properties of fluids. First one is density, that is rho. So density is rho. So it's the ratio of mass by volume. It's the ratio of mass by volume. The units for this absolute unit is gram per centimeter cube. Gram per centimeter cube. It is measured at a 4 degrees centigrade. Standard density of water is measured at 4 degrees centigrade. In units in SI system, use kg per meter cube. So density of water in kg per meter cube, 1000 kg per meter cube. In gravitational metric unit or MKS system, it is MSL per meter cube. Okay, so density of water in MSL per meter cube is 101.93 MSL per meter. So MSL is nothing but metric slag. Okay? Next, in FPS system, density of water is 62.4 pounds per feet cube. Okay, no need to remember all those things. Just remember these two. So density of water in gram per centimeter cube is 1 gram per centimeter cube and 1000 kg per meter cube. Okay. Yeah, the variation of density with the temperature and pressure. If the pressure increases, density is also will going to increase. If temperature increases, mass density of fluid decreases due to rise in temperature. Mass density of fluids decreases due to increase in temperature, but increases due to increase in pressure. If you apply pressure, more and more pressure, density will going to increase. If you raise the temperature of fluid, then it is mass density will going to decrease. So these things you need to remember. So in fluid mechanics, two things you need to apply. First one is temperature and second one is pressure. The effect of temperature and pressure on fluids behavior that we need to study. So that is very, very important. How affecting the pressure and temperature on density, how the temperature and pressure is affecting on specific weight and specific gravity, that we have to study, that we need to study. Okay, next, so this is about density. So density of water is 1 gram per cc, density of mercury is 13.6 gram per cc, and density of oil 0.8 gram per cc. Density of oil is 0.8 gram per cc. So this is already you know. Next, unit weight. This is also called a specific weight. Unit weight, or this is also called specific weight. So the formula for this, weight by volume. Specific weight is equal to weight by volume. Specific weight is equal to weight by volume. Units for this specific weight of water is 1000 kgf per meter cube. 1000 kgf per meter cube. In this is in MKS system. In SI system, 9.81 kilonewton per meter cube. Remember this one. 9.81 kilonewton per meter cube. So specific weight of water is 9.81. Unit is kilonewton per meter cube. So dimension for this specific weight of water is m l minus 2 t minus 2 m l minus 2 t minus 2. This is the dimension. Okay, this is unit. Unit is kilonewton per meter cube and dimension is m l minus 2 t minus 2. Student, units is kilonewton per meter cube. Okay, what are the units for the Newton? F is equal to MA. Force unit is Newton. M into A. Mass units is kgs acceleration units is meter per second square. So this is the units for the newtons. So convert it. You're going to get what you need to just write in place of kg, you write mass. In place of meters, you write L. In place of seconds, you write time T. And substitute, you finally you will get this dimension number. So dimensions you will going to get. Dimensions you will going to get. So these are the dimensions for the specific weight. So these are the dimensions for the specific weight. Units for the specific weight is kilonewton per meter cube. Okay, in dynes, 981 dyne per centimeter cube. 981 dyne per centimeter. So force unit is dyne or newton or kgf. These are the units for the force. Okay, so 981 dyne per centimeter cube is a unit for the specific weight. Okay, the relation between specific weight and specific density, mass density. The relation between specific weight and mass density is, this is the relation. So specific weight is equal to mass density into gravity. Unit weight is equal to specific weight is equal to mass density or density into gravity. Remember, this is very, very important. Specific weight is equal to mass density into gravity. Mass density into gravity. Mass density is denoted by rho and the gravity is g. Okay. Next. So now the effect of unit weight on effect of temperature and pressure on unit weight. Specific weight we will see. Due to rise in temperature, the value of rho decreases. The value of rho decreases. Value of specific weight decreases. Due to rise in pressure, the volume of this specific weight will going to increase. Because specific weight is directly proportional to density. Specific weight is directly proportional to density. So that's why if you increase the temperature, then unit weight decreases because density decreases. When you increase pressure, the value of density will going to increase. From that, the value of this specific weight is also going to increase. Next one is specific volume. Next property is specific volume. So it is a ratio of, it is a volume of fluid per unit weight. Volume of fluid per unit volume, not unit mass. Volume of fluid per unit weight, not unit mass. Unit weight and volume by weight. It is a volume of fluid per unit weight. So volume by weight. So this is inverse of specific weight. It is inverse of specific weight. It is denoted by Vs. Okay. So Vs is equal to 1 by this gamma. That is volume by weight. Units is meter cube per Newton. This is SI unit, meter cube per Newton. In case meter cube per kgf. CGS is centimeter cube per dyne. Okay. So this is about specific volume. Specific volume. He may ask calculate the specific volume of fluid anachu. So ఇది కొంచెం డిఫరెంట్ ఉంటుంది. జనరల్ గా specific weight density అంటే తెలుసు, but specific volume అంటే it is a inverse of specific weight. 1 by gamma. 1 by gamma. Sorry, V by W. And this is meter cube per Newton. Okay. Next is specific gravity. Specific gravity is the ratio of specific weight of fluid by specific weight of standard fluid. Specific weight of fluid by specific weight of standard fluid. Density of fluid by density of standard fluid. Here, fluids are categorized into two types. First one is liquids, and the second one is gases. In liquid, standard liquid is water. In gases, standard gas is air. Okay. So that's why specific gravity is equal to specific weight of any liquid by specific weight of water. So specific weight of water is 9.81 kilonewton per meter cube, or 981 dyne per centimeter cube, or 1000 kgf per meter cube. Just now we have seen. So unit weight of water is 1000 kgf per meter cube, or 9.81 kilonewton per meter cube, or 981 dyne per centimeter cube. Okay. The specific gravity of any fluid is equal to specific gravity of standard, specific gravity of fluid by specific gravity of standard fluid. Okay. So specific gravity of water is 9.81 kilonewton per meter cube. Remember it. Next. So density of, it is also called specific gravity, also defined as specific density of any liquid by density of water. Okay, this is also the definition of specific gravity. So from this, I want to write a relation. I want to calculate unit weight of oil. Unit weight of oil. So I know the specific gravity of oil. Then how to calculate unit weight of oil? Unit weight of oil is equal to specific gravity of oil. Specific gravity of oil multiply with the unit weight of water. So generally unit weight is equal to specific gravity is equal to unit weight of any substance divided by unit weight of standard substance. So here standard substance is water. So I want to calculate unit weight of oil. So unit weight of oil కావాలంటే S into gamma W. So this is very very important. So general మనం ఈ ఫార్ములాను మనం సాయిల్ మెకానిక్స్ కూడా వాడతాం for the calculation of density of gravel or density of so unit weight of gravel or sand. So దాంట్లో మనం క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేసుకోవడానికి we'll use this formula. Okay. Next one. So specific gravity of water is 1. Specific gravity of oil is 0.8. Specific gravity of mercury is 13.6. So generally this you need to remember. Next fluid property is next one very very important. Units for the specific gravity is, you tell me what are the units for the specific gravity? Anyone can tell me?
No units.
No units. Because it is ratio. It's a ratio of unit weight, or it is a ratio of density. So specific gravity units is no units. So this is very important question for your competitive examinations or any Viva wise exam. Units for the specific gravity is no unit. Next is bulk modulus. Bulk modulus. It is the ratio of. It is defined as a ratio of increase in pressure. Increase in pressure to the corresponding volumetric strain. Increase in pressure corresponding to volumetric strain. So what is strain? Strain is nothing but change in length by original length. Then a linear strain and linear strain is denoted by change in length by original length is called a linear strain. Next, what is volumetric strain? So volumetric strain means it will change in all three directions. It will change. Volume will going to change in x direction as well as y direction as well as z direction. So volumetric strain అన్నప్పుడు మనకు, so volume will involve change in volume by original volume will be the volumetric strain. So volumetric strain is equal to change in volume by original volume. So now tell me what are the units for the bulk modulus? No, anyone tell me what are the units for the bulk modulus? Change in pressure by Newton per
meter square.
yeah, very good. Newton per meter square. Very good. So because here pressure units are Newton per meter square, strain units are no units. So the units for the bulk modulus is Newton per meter square. Or Newton per mm square కూడా రాసుకోవచ్చు. Okay. Okay, next. Compressibility. This terminology is very important. Compressibility is a reciprocal of bulk modulus. Bulk modulus. Just now we are seeing what is bulk modulus. Change is a ratio of change in pressure to the volumetric strain. Now compressibility, sorry, bulk modulus. Now compressibility. Compressibility is a reciprocal of bulk modulus. Compressibility is a reciprocal of bulk modulus. So reciprocal of bulk modulus 1 by kg. So that is volumetric strain to the change in pressure. Volumetric, the ratio of volumetric strain to the change in pressure. So volumetric strain is delta V by V. Change in pressure is delta P. So units for this is meter square per kilonewton. Meter square per kilonewton. So these are the units for the compressibility. Next. So this is very important. Surface tension is due to cohesion and adhesion. Remember this word. Surface tension is due to cohesion and adhesion. This question, compulsory question for the competitive examinations like AEE, state government exams లో కంపల్సరీ ఉంటుందండి. Surface tension is due to cohesion and adhesion. Sorry. Surface tension is due to only cohesion. Capillarity is due to cohesion and adhesion. Remember this. Sorry. Surface tension is due to only cohesion. Surface tension is due to cohesion. Capillarity is due to cohesion and adhesion. Remember, surface tension is only due to cohesion. Okay. What is surface tension? It is defined as the force. It's the surface tension is a force, tensile force acting on the liquid surface per unit length. Acting per unit length. Now tell me what are the units for the surface tension? Tensile force acting per unit length. Acting per unit length antunam. Force per unit length. Units is Newton per meter. Units for the surface tension is Newton per meter. Okay. Surface tension takes place only cohesion only. Surface tension is due to cohesion only. So now we'll see the effect of temperature on the surface tension. If the temperature rises, then the surface tension will going to decrease due to loss in cohesion. Okay. If the temperature rises, or in summer season, surface tension is less as compared to other seasons. Okay. So remember this word. Surface tension is due to only cohesion. If the temperature rises, then the surface tension will going to decrease due to loss in cohesion. Okay. Yeah, so units for the surface tension is Newton per meter. Just remember SI units, Newton per meter. So surface tension sigma, it is denoted by sigma. Sigma is equal to F by L. Force acting per unit length. Tensile force is acting per unit length. This is called surface tension. So sigma is equal to F by L. So value of surface tension of water with air. Value of surface tension of water contact with air is 0.073 Newton per meter at 79 degrees centigrade. At 100 degrees centigrade, it is 0.0589 Newton per meter, which means if you observe carefully, these two values, when the temperature increases, what will going to happen to the surface tension will going to decrease. ఇక్కడ చూడండి 79 degrees ఉన్నప్పుడు ఎక్కువ ఉంది, 100 degrees ఉన్నప్పుడు somewhat less than that of 79 degrees. 0.073 కంటే తక్కువ ఉంది. దీంట్లో కూడా మనం అబ్జర్వ్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. ఓకే, yeah, we'll see these are the formulas are very important. I will explain how the formulas are derived. So application of surface tension in the formation of droplet, it is useful for the formation of droplets. మనకు వర్షం పడుతుంటుంది, వర్షం పడుతుంటే అది ఎట్లా ఫామ్ అవుతుందండి? బికాస్ ఆఫ్ సర్ఫేస్ టెన్షన్, బికాస్ ఆఫ్ కోహెషన్, the water, whatever the liquid, that will try to minimize its surface area minimize అయ్యేటట్టు మనం అది అయిపోతుందండి. సో సర్క్యులర్ డ్రాప్లెట్స్ అనేది కింద పడుతూ ఉంటాయి, రైట్, ఆర్ జెట్స్ లెక్క వస్తూ ఉంటాయి. వాటర్ డ్రాప్లెట్ ఆర్ వాటర్ జెట్ లెక్క మనకు రెయిన్ పడుతుంటారు. సో దిస్ ఇస్ బికాస్ ఆఫ్ సర్ఫేస్ టెన్షన్. సర్ఫేస్ టెన్షన్ is due to cohesion. Okay, so right, I want to calculate surface tension in terms of surface tension for the వాటర్ డ్రాప్లెట్ ఎట్లుంటుందో మనము ఎగ్జామిన్ చేద్దాం అనుకుంటున్నా. సో రైట్, ఒక్క వాటర్ డ్రాప్లెట్ తీసుకున్నా అండి, వాటర్ డ్రాప్లెట్ తీసుకున్నా. వాటర్ డ్రాప్లెట్ ఇన్సైడ్ ఏముంటుంది? వాటర్ ఉంటుంది. సో దిస్ ఇస్ a spherical water droplet I am considered here. Inside water will be there and outside air will be there. Inside water will be there and outside air will be there. At the interface, at this interface, surface tension force will going to act. At the interface, surface tension force will going to act. So this is the surface tension force. Now in the internal గా లోపల ఈ డ్రాప్లెట్ లోపల ఏంటంటే a pressure will going to exert towards outside. ప్రెషర్ అనేది అవుట్ సైడ్ యాక్ట్ అవుతుంది, టెన్షన్ ఫోర్స్ అనేది ఇన్సైడ్ యాక్ట్ అవుతుంది. ఓకే, సో ఫర్ ది ఈక్విలిబ్రియం, సో ప్రెషర్ ఫోర్స్ మస్ట్ బి ఈక్వల్ టు సర్ఫేస్ టెన్షన్ ఫోర్స్. చూడండి ఇక్కడ ఆ వాటర్ డ్రాప్లెట్ ఉన్న వాటర్ బయటికి రావడానికి ట్రై చేస్తూ ఉంటుంది. దట్ విల్ క్రియేట్ అ ప్రెషర్, దట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ ప్రెషర్ ఫోర్స్. ఇది ప్రెషర్ ఫోర్స్ అనేది, వాటర్ ప్రెషర్ ఫోర్స్. లోపల వాటర్ డ్రాప్లెట్ లో వాటర్ ఉంటుంది కదండి, ఆ వాటర్ అనేది అవుట్ సైడ్ కి ప్రెషర్ ఎగ్జర్ట్ చేస్తూ ఉంటది. ఇక్కడ ఏం చేస్తా అంటే సర్ఫేస్ మీద సర్ఫేస్ టెన్షన్ ఫోర్స్ ఉంటది, సర్ఫేస్ మీద సర్ఫేస్ టెన్షన్ ఫోర్స్ ఉంటది. అదేంటంటే ఈ ప్రెషర్ ని రెసిస్ట్ చేస్తూ ఉంటది, ఇంటర్నల్ ప్రెషర్ ని రెసిస్ట్ చేస్తూ ఉంటుంట. ఓకే, దిస్ ఇస్ సర్ఫేస్ టెన్షన్ ఫోర్స్ విచ్ ఇస్ రెసిస్ట్ ది ఇంటర్నల్ pressure. So for the equilibrium, so internal pressure must be equal to surface tension force. Internal pressure must be equal to surface tension force, isn't it? For equilibrium, both the forces must be equal. So just what I'm doing is I'm equating pressure force with surface tension force. So here the pressure force is equal to, చూడండి ఇక్కడ డ్రాప్లెట్ ఉందండి, డ్రాప్లెట్ ఉంది, దాంట్లో ప్రెషర్ ఫోర్స్ కావాలి నాకు. I want to calculate pressure force. So pressure force is equal to pressure into cross sectional area of the droplet. Pressure into cross sectional area. So what is cross sectional area? చూడండి దీన్ని కట్ చేయండి ఇట్లా. దాని క్రాస్ సెక్షన్ ఎట్లుంటుంది? సర్క్యులర్ షేప్ లో ఉంటుంది. క్రాస్ సెక్షన్ ఎట్లుంటుంది అంటే సర్క్యులర్ షేప్ లో ఉంటుంది. సో దాని డయామీటర్ ఎంత? D. So now cross section area is equal to pi by 4 d square. So this is pressure force is equal to pressure into cross sectional area. This cross sectional area is equal to pi by 4 d square. Okay, so this pressure force must be equal to surface tension force. Surface tension force will act on the surface of the this water droplet. Surface మీద యాక్ట్ అవుతుందండి, సర్ఫేస్ మీద యాక్ట్ అవుతుంది కాబట్టి the circumference of the circle మీద యాక్ట్ అవుతుంది కాబట్టి the circumference of the circle is pi into d. So this is length. So length of the circle is circumference of the circle, or length of the circle is pi into d, and the surface tension is sigma, and surface tension force is equal to sigma into pi into d. If we equate these two, if you equate it is 2, and if you want to calculate pressure force, pressure inside the water droplet, calculate pressure inside the water droplet. P is equal to value, you're going to get P is equal to 4 sigma by D. 4 sigma by P is equal to 4 sigma by D. This formula is very, very important. Pressure force, pressure inside the water droplet, P is equal to 4 sigma by D. P is equal to 4 sigma by D, where sigma is the surface tension, D is the dia of the water droplet. Okay, so substitute in place of D is equal to, generally we know diameter is equal to 2 times of radius. Substitute D is equal to 2R, then you're going to get 4 sigma by 2R. From this you can write 2 sigma by R. ఒక ఎగ్జామినేషన్ లో, ఒక ఎగ్జామ్ లో అండి, పాలిటెక్నిక్ లెక్చరర్ ఎగ్జామినేషన్ లో ఒక క్వశ్చన్ ఇచ్చాడండి. ఫర్ వాటర్ డ్రాప్లెట్ P is equal to 8 sigma by D. ఒక ఆప్షన్ ఏంటంటే 8 sigma by D అని ఇచ్చిండు. ఇంకొక ఆప్షన్ ఏమి ఇచ్చిండు, 2 sigma by R అని ఇచ్చిండు. ఇంకొక ఆప్షన్ ఏం ఇచ్చిండు, 4 sigma by R అని ఇచ్చిండు. సో విచ్ ఆఫ్ ద ఫాలోయింగ్ ఇస్ కరెక్ట్ అన్నాడు. అప్పుడు మనం అందరు జనరల్ గా ఏంటంటే మనకు గుర్తుపెట్టుకుని ఎట్లా గుర్తుపెట్టుకుని, వాటర్ డ్రాప్లెట్ కి 4 ఉంటుందండి, 4 సిగ్మా అని ఉంటుందని గుర్తుపెట్టుకుంటాం. బట్ యూ హ్యావ్ టు సీ దిస్ డయామీటర్ ఆర్ రేడియస్, యూ హ్యావ్ టు అబ్జర్వ్ కేర్ఫుల్లీ. అనవసరంగా ఒక మార్క్ పోతుందండి. అందుకని నేను ఇక్కడ నేను ఇన్ టర్మ్స్ ఆఫ్ ఆర్ లో కూడా నేను రాశాను, ఇన్ టర్మ్స్ ఆఫ్ ఆర్ లో కూడా నేను రాసిన. ఓకే, సో ఫర్ వాటర్ డ్రాప్లెట్, pressure inside the water droplet P is equal to 4 sigma by D or 2 sigma by R. 2 sigma by small r. Small r is the radius. Is it clear for you? Is it okay? Is there any doubts in this?
No, sir.
Is it clear? Okay, right. Respond. So this is not
Yes, sir.
our regular class. You can respond. Even you can respond. Okay. Next, I want to calculate for the soap bubble. So soap bubble, I want to calculate the relation between internal pressure and surface tension. So for the soap bubble, 2 interfaces will be there for the soap bubble. So this is a bubble. Inside air will be there and outside is also air will be there. So that whatever the layer that layer is water layer. Bubble layer will be there, that is water. Okay. Now surface tension will act from inside as well as outside. So surface tension will act in the interface between water and air. Just now we are discussed. Surface tension force will act in the interface between water and air. So here interface, inside one interface will be there and outside one interface will be there. So here one interface, inside interface surface tension is sigma, outside interface surface tension is sigma. So now surface tension force is equal to surface tension into perimeter. Surface tension into perimeter. So that is 2 sigma into pi d. Here the internal force acting from pressure acting inside to outside is pressure force is acting is pressure into area. Pressure into area, cross section area. So P into pi by 4 d square, you equate for the surface total, so surface tension force, and you're going to finally you're going to get P is equal to 8 sigma by d. So this is the surface pressure inside the soap bubble in terms of surface tension. This is the equation. P is equal to 8 sigma by d or P is equal to 4 sigma by small r. P is equal to 4 sigma by small r. Okay. So similarly for the water jet, for water jet So for water jet, some length will be there and a diameter of small d will be there. So if you observe here two interfaces will be there. For the droplet, two interfaces will be there. First one is pressure force will acting from inside to outside, that is P. Pressure force will acting from inside to outside. So now pressure acting from inside to outside. So total pressure force is equal to, so what is the formula for the calculation of pressure force? Pressure force is equal to pressure into affecting area. So pressure is P. If we just cut this droplet and calculate area. So cross section area, if you calculate the cross section area will be L into D. Now that should be equal to total surface tension force. So sir, if you cut this one, surface tension will act along this one as well as this one. Two surfaces మీద యాక్ట్ అవుతుందండి. Two surface మీద యాక్ట్ అవుతుంది కాబట్టి total surface tension force is sigma into L plus sigma into L. That is 2 sigma L. Surface tension force is 2 sigma L. So if you solve for P, if you calculate the relation between P and sigma, you're going to get P is equal to 2 sigma by D or sigma by R. For liquid droplet, P is equal to 2 sigma by D. That should be equal to sigma by R. So you remember these three formulas. These formulas are very, very important for your competitive examinations. So this is about the surface tension. So surface tension is due to only cohesion. Surface tension formula for the water droplet, P is equal to 4 sigma by D or 2 sigma by R. So bubble 8 sigma by D or 4 sigma by small r. For water jet 2 sigma by D or sigma by small r. Okay, now we'll see about capillarity. So capillarity is a phenomenon where the liquid rises above the free surface or it falls down below the free surface due to cohesion and adhesion property of liquid. So remember this wording is very, very important. Capillarity is due to cohesion and adhesion property of liquid. Cohesion as well as adhesion property of liquid. Okay, capillarity is the phenomenon where the liquid rises above the free surface, or it falls down below the free surface due to adhesion property of liquid. Adhesion and cohesion and adhesion property of liquid. Okay, so this is the capillarity. So capillarity takes place only in small dia tubes which dia is less than 6 mm. Dia is less than 6 mm. Capillarity takes place only in small dia tube below 6 mm. Remember this one. So this is not required. The capillarity rise depends upon the following parameters. First one is it is directly proportional to surface tension of water. Capillarity is directly proportional to surface tension of water or any liquid. And capillarity is proportional to tube dia. Surface tension is capillarity is inversely proportional to tube dia. If tube dia increases, surface tension will going to decrease. If tube dia decrease, if tube dia increase, capillarity will going to decrease. If tube dia decreases, capillarity will going to increase. Okay. Next, it is directly proportional to cos theta. It is directly proportional to theta, where theta is the angle of contact. Theta is the angle of contact having its value 0. Angle of contact theta value 0 for water, and theta value is 120 to 130 degrees for the mercury. Liquid. So generally capillary takes place topic you may
వాయిస్ స్ట్రక్ అవుతుంది సార్.
Now is it okay? Due to capillarity
Okay, sir.
rise, negative pressure will going to develop. చూడండి ఇక్కడ capillarity rise అయిందండి. Capillarity rise అయింది. చూడండి ఇక్కడ అంటే because of surface tension sigma వల్ల మనకి ఏమవుతుంది, surface tension వల్ల ఏమవుతుంది, capillarity అప్లై అవుతుంది. So the capillarity force acting in this direction. So this is sigma and this is also sigma. కింద ఏంటంటే డౌన్వర్డ్ ఫోర్స్, వాటర్ వెయిట్ ఆఫ్ లిక్విడ్, వాట్ ఎవర్ ద వెయిట్ ఇక్కడ ఉంది కదా ఆ లిక్విడ్ అనమాట. దీనివల్ల ఏమవుతుందంటే నెగిటివ్ ఫోర్స్ విల్ గోయింగ్ టు డెవలప్. దాన్ని మనం ఏమంటామంటే క్యాపిలారిటీ టెన్షన్ అంట. క్యాపిలారిటీ టెన్షన్. ఓకే, ఈ డయాగ్రామ్ చూడండి. సో ఇది ఒక లిక్విడ్ ఉందండి, ఇది ఒక లిక్విడ్. దీంట్లో ఏం చేస్తాను, స్మాల్ ట్యూబ్ ఇన్సర్ట్ చేశాను. ట్రాన్స్పరెంట్ ట్యూబ్ ఇన్సర్ట్ చేయడం వల్ల ఏమైందంటే capillarity rise takes place here. So let us suppose the capillarity rise is HC. HC is the capillarity rise. Okay. Theta is the angle between angle of contact. Theta is the angle of contact. So this is the meniscus. Right. Now this, because of surface tension force, water is lifting upwards. So because of weight of liquid, the liquid will going to drop down. ఇక్కడ ఈక్విలిబ్రియం ఉన్నప్పుడు ఇది పాసిబుల్ అవుతుందండి. ఈక్విలిబ్రియం ఉన్నప్పుడు ఈ హైట్ కి వచ్చి ఒక హైట్ కి వచ్చేసి అది స్టేబుల్ అయిపోతుంది. ఒక హైట్ కి వచ్చిన తర్వాత అది స్టేబుల్ అయిపోతుంది అండి. ఓకే, సో ఫర్ దట్ వాట్ we have to equilibrate this weight of liquid and surface tension force along vertical axis. along vertical direction లో మనం ఏం చేయాలంటే weight of liquid ని surface tension తోని మనము ఈక్విలిబ్రియం చేయాలి. సో how to calculate weight of liquid? So weight of liquid ఎట్లా calculate? Anyone can tell me how to calculate weight of liquid?
Specific
Very good. Specific weight into
volume.
Very good. Specific weight into volume. So specific weight into volume. Specific weight of water is specific. మనకి ఇక్కడ liquid అనం, not mentioned water. So weight of liquid is specific weight of liquid into area of cross section area of tube into height of this capillary rise. So cross section area is pi by 4d square into height of water level, height of rise, capillary rise is HC. So this is weight of liquid. So now how to calculate capillarity tension in the same y direction? Y direction కావాలంటే calculate చేయాలండి. So this is sigma acting at an angle of theta with vertical axis. Then how to calculate this vertical component? ఈ vertical component calculate చేయాలంటే ఏం చేస్తామంటే this is theta, then this will be sigma cos theta, isn't it? ఇది ఏమవుతుందంటే vertical component sigma cos theta అవుతుంది, ఇది కూడా sigma cos theta అవుతుంది. Okay, sigma cos theta. So this is also sigma cos theta. Vertical component is sigma cos theta. Just equate these two. So sigma cos theta. సో మనం ఫోర్స్ అంటున్నాం కదండి, ఇది సర్ఫేస్ టెన్షన్ ఇంటూ దిస్ పెరిమీటర్. అప్పుడు ఏమొస్తుంది, సర్ఫేస్ టెన్షన్ ఫోర్స్ వస్తుంది. సో సర్ఫేస్ టెన్షన్ ఫోర్స్ మస్ట్ బి ఈక్వేటింగ్ టు వెయిట్ ఆఫ్ లిక్విడ్. సో వెయిట్ ఆఫ్ లిక్విడ్ is also force, surface tension force is also force. For equilibrium just equate these two. So sigma cos theta into perimeter, that is pi into d. సో ఇది ట్యూబ్ అండి, ట్యూబ్ మీద మొత్తం సర్ఫేస్ మీద యాక్ట్ అవుతుందండి. క్యాపిలారిటీ అనేది సర్ఫేస్ మీద ఎఫెక్ట్ అవుతుంది. దిస్ ఇస్ డ్యూ టు సర్ఫేస్ టెన్షన్. సో దిస్ ఇస్ సిగ్మా కాస్ theta into pi d. Perimeter is pi d, and we need to equate to weight of liquid. So equate these two. So finally you will going to get, so HC is equal to rise, capillarity rise, HC is equal to 4 sigma cos theta divided by gamma into d. You are going to get, so HC is equal to 4 sigma cos theta divided by gamma into d. Okay, so I want to write in terms of specific gravity. Then how to write? So specific gravity is equal to, we know the formula, specific gravity S is equal to specific gravity of any liquid by specific gravity of water. So manaku specific gravity of specific gravity is equal to unit weight of any liquid by unit weight of water. Adi formula kada. So నాకు unit weight of liquid ikkada undi, so in place of unit weight of liquid I am substituting specific gravity into unit weight of water, S into gamma W. In place of gamma I am substituting S into gamma W. You are going to get this equation. If you substitute theta is equal to 0, that means the force is acting in y direction. If theta is equal to 0 for water theta is equal to 0, substitute it and substitute gamma W value, you are going to get a sigma value also. Sigma value at 79 degrees centigrade, sigma value, surface tension value is 0.073. We know 0.073. So then HC is directly proportional. HC is equal to 2.97 to the power of -5 whole divided by d. HC we are going to get in meters. So this is the relation between HC and d, diameter of tube. HC is equal to 2.97 to the power of -5 whole divided by small d. Okay, so simply we can write HC is equal to 0.297 బదులు ఏం రాస్తాం 0.3 into d అని రాసుకుంటున్నాం సింపుల్ గా మనం 0.3 divided by d in centimeters. So this relation is very important. ఈ relation ని కూడా మనకు అడిగిండండి. ఓన్లీ డయామీటర్ ఆఫ్ ట్యూబ్ ఇస్తాడండి, ఓన్లీ డయామీటర్ ఆఫ్ ట్యూబ్ ఇస్తాడు. ఫైండ్ అవుట్ ది capillarity rise for water. Diameter of tube is 5 mm. అన్నప్పుడు we have to use this formula. C is equal to 0.3 whole divided by d. So this value we will going to get in centimeters. This value you will going to get in centimeters. So remember 0.3 by d అని గుర్తుపెట్టుకుంటాం కదా, సెంటీమీటరా మీటరా mm అని గుర్తుపెట్టుకోవాలి కదా. So 0.3 by d. So HC is equal to 0.3 by d. You are going to get in centimeters. So this soil mechanics lo vastadi. I am not want to explain here. So ఇది relation దానికి మనకు soil mechanics లో వస్తుంది. I do not want to explain here. I want to explain soil mechanics itself, so that we will discuss. For mercury, theta is equal to, consider as 120 to 130 degrees consider. So first I am considering theta is equal to 120 degrees. Then we will going to get this equation. HC is equal to -0.147 sigma Hg divided by gamma W into d. So this is capillary tension. Capillary rise అయింది కదండి, capillary rise అయింది. రైజ్ అయినప్పుడు here the stresses are maximum. కిందికి వెళ్ళిన కొద్ది స్ట్రెసెస్ న్యూట్రల్ యాక్స్ దగ్గర జీరో అవుతాయి, తర్వాత మినిమం అయిపోతాయి. దట్ ఈస్ capillary tension and this is capillary compression. How to calculate capillary tension? Capillary tension W is equal to gamma W into Hc. Capillary tension flow is equal to gamma W into Hc minus gamma W into Hc. So this is not that important for you. This type of questions may ask in IES, not required in GATE. Just this standard is enough. So you remember Sc is equal 4 sigma cos theta by gamma W into gamma into D. So this is about surface tension and the capillarity. Now we'll see about viscosity. So viscosity is very important topic. Viscosity is very important topic. What is viscosity? Viscosity is the property of fluid. Viscosity is property of fluid by virtue of which it offers or develops resistance to the movement of one fluid layer over the adjacent fluid layer. So it is a resistance to the movement of fluid layer over the an adjacent fluid layer. That is called viscosity. So it is a viscosity is a resistance between two fluid layers, is nothing but viscosity. So viscosity takes place due to cohesion in liquid and the momentum transfer in gases. Viscosity takes place due to cohesion in case of liquids and the momentum transfer in case of gases. So viscosity of fluids develops shear stresses. Viscosity of fluids will develop shear stresses. అంటే ఏమవుతుంది చూడండి, ఇప్పుడు విస్కాసిటీ అంటే ఏం చెప్పుకున్నాము, రెసిస్టెన్స్ బిట్వీన్ టూ ఫ్లూయిడ్ లేయర్స్ మనం విస్కాసిటీ అంటున్నాం కదా. బికాస్ ఆఫ్ రెసిస్టెన్స్ స్ట్రెస్ విల్ గోయింగ్ టు డెవలప్ బిట్వీన్ టూ అడ్జసెంట్ లేయర్స్. Stress will going to develop between two adjacent layers, so that stress is called shear stress. Okay. So viscosity of water is always higher than viscosity of air. Anyhow, we know the viscosity of liquid and viscosity of gases are independent of pressure. Very important. Viscosity is independent of pressure, but it is depends upon the temperature. Totally depends upon the temperature, but independent of pressure. Okay, this is very important. Remember, viscosity doesn't depends upon the pressure, but it is depends upon the temperature. Okay, due to rise in temperature, the cohesion of liquid gets reduced, hence the viscosity of liquid decreases. Rise in temperature rise అయితే viscosity decrease అవుతుంది. Remember it. Due to rise in temperature, movement and transfer of gases increases, and hence the viscosity of gases decreases. Viscosity of gases decreases. Okay. Next one is Newton law of viscosity. We know well known about Newton law of viscosity. So shear stress is directly proportional to rate of shear strain. That is Newton's law of viscosity. So here I want to draw a graph between shear stress to the rate of angular deformation or shear strain. I want to draw graph between shear stress and the rate of angular deformation. That is du by dy and tau. Tau is shear stress, du by dy is the rate of angular deformation.
వాట్ ఈస్ న్యూటన్ లా ఆఫ్ విస్కాసిటీ అంటే ఏంటంటే
shear stress is directly proportional to, if shear stress is directly proportional to du by dy అన్నట్టు. That is nothing but Newton's law of viscosity. Shear stress tau is directly proportional to du by dy. That is tau is equal to mu du by dy అన్నాడు. So tau is equal to mu du by dy అన్నాడు. For the Newtonian fluid, tau is equal to mu du by dy, where mu is the viscosity, tau is the shear stress, du by dy is a rate of angular deformation. So that is Newton's law of viscosity. So Newton's law of viscosity obey చేసేటువంటి లిక్విడ్స్ ఏంటంటే ఫస్ట్ వన్ ఇస్ వాటర్, ఎయిర్, కిరోసిన్, గ్యాసోలిన్. సో దీస్ ఆర్ ది liquids fluids which obey the Newton's law of viscosity. నెక్స్ట్ కరువు ప్యాటర్న్ ఇట్లుంది అనుకోండి, వాటిని ఏమంటామంటే నాన్ న్యూటోనియన్ ఫ్లూయిడ్స్ అని అంటాం. సో షియర్ స్ట్రెస్ is not directly proportional to rate of shear strain. So those fluids is called non-Newtonian fluids. Example for this is mud slurry. Examples for the non-Newtonian fluid is and pulp. Pulp is also example. Next, Bingham plastic fluid. Bingham plastic fluid. Example for the Bingham plastic fluid is oil paint. Next, thixotrophic fluid. Thixotrophic fluid is example printer ink. Printer ink is an example for the thixotrophic fluid. Okay, this is about graph of the Newtonian fluid and all those things. So we will discuss this Newton's law of viscosity in the next coming classes. Okay. So I want to close this session.